We are now down to the final 4 teams to see who moves on to Super Bowl 60. And after going 4-0 last week, we are here to make some picks for the championship games. But before we do that, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the Zucc TV YouTube channel if you have not yet. And also ring the bell to be notified of when I post next, because after this week, I will still be doing a Super Bowl preview for you just days ahead of the big game. Alright, so let's start off with the AFC Championship game. That will be at 3 o'clock on Sunday. It is between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Now, sadly, we lost Bo Nix for this game, and we lost him for the rest of the season. So it's up to Jarrett Stidham to step in and play quarterback for the Denver Broncos. If the Broncos had Bo Nix, and I guess you could say we're healthier, this game would be fantastic. I think this will be a really, really good game. But when I look at this now, having a backup quarterback who has barely played in his NFL career, going into the biggest game of his life after years of not playing, and especially going up against a great team like the New England Patriots, it's kind of sad to look at this game and go, man, the Broncos, you're in tough. They really are. But the key piece here for the Broncos is their defense. If the Broncos defense is able to hold up the New England Patriots, I feel like the Broncos still do have a shot here. Now, the Patriots, through the first 2 games of the playoffs, offensively, they've looked all right. They kind of torched the Texans last week in the divisional round, just simply because CJ Stroud put up an all-time disaster class performance. And let's not kid ourselves there. But defensively, the Pats have still looked good. So going up against the offense for the Broncos that don't have their starting quarterback, it kind of leans their way a bit more. If I'm looking at this game, if the Broncos defense are able to hold them in it, they do have a chance. But if they are not, and if the offense isn't able to generate basically anything at all, it definitely looks towards the Patriots. But I just can't see a team with a backup quarterback who's barely played go into this offense in the AFC Championship game and have a shot against a team like the Patriots. They have been very strong all year, and they're just a well-rounded team compared to a team that doesn't have their starting quarterback. Defensively, the Broncos can hang tight, but will they be able to hang on enough? I don't think so. I think the Pats, being healthy, they'll be able to take over this game, and they will move on to Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco. So now we move on to the nightcap game, the NFC Championship game, or what some people are calling the actual Super Bowl, between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Boy, Lumen Field is going to be revved for this one. We will see if there's maybe a kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game this time around, because that would just be incredible. But to be honest with you, this game is going to be really, really close. I really do believe it will be a very tight game. Obviously, you're going to have the number 1 offense going up against the number 1 defense in the league this season. The one thing that does point out to me, though, is how good the Rams have been this season. The issue I've seen with them throughout this postseason is they've played really close games against teams I don't think they really should have been that close to. I mean, especially looking at the Carolina game, like everyone was saying that they were going to bulldoze the Panthers. They barely beat them. And then I look at the game against the Bears last week, and I expected that game to be closer than what the Panthers game should have been. But instead, I was kind of thinking that the Rams at one point would probably win by a touchdown or 2. It turned out to be a win again by just 3 points. So I don't think the Rams have played all that great in this postseason. And they're going up against a Seahawks team that absolutely pummeled a well-injured 49ers lineup last week. So I just don't like how the Rams have played enough to pick them to win this game. Now, Seattle got it off easy last week playing the 49ers, but again, their defense showed up big time. Even with the 49ers having Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy, a offensive crew that has kind of been there all season long and was very, very good nearing the end of the year, they got stopped big time by the Seattle Seahawks defense. And if Matt Stafford isn't able to pull off some magic of Puka or Devontae Adams, I could kind of see the same result happening again. I really do agree, though, with what people are saying. This is truly the Super Bowl. I think this should be a very, very good game, but just judging how the Rams have played throughout this postseason, I could see them not winning this game. And it's going to come down to, in my opinion, if they show up, number one, and number two, if Seattle's offense is, you know, going off like they did last week against the 49ers. Because you know Seattle's defense is going to be there. It's got to be if their offense shows up, because the Rams as well still have a very, very good defense. But, you know, a team that's coming in hot off a big win over the 49ers against a team who barely beat the Bears last week and barely beat the Panthers the week before that, I just can't see the Rams, you know, going off for a victory, going on to the Super Bowl. I just cannot see that happening. I'm going to be taking also as well the team here that has a great home field advantage at Lumen Field, and that is the Seattle Seahawks. So I think Seattle will go on to face New England in Super Bowl 60. So there you have it, everyone. Those are my selections for this week's championship games in the NFL playoffs. What I'm calling, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 49, which we all know very well from a certain play in the final minutes of the game that could have been a championship changer, but it did not work out that way for a certain team. It's going to be the Seahawks taking on the Patriots. It's too bad that, you know, the Broncos are banged up, in my opinion, and I just don't think the Rams have been playing good football for the last 2 weeks, even though they've won both games. I just don't believe that they've played well enough to take on and beat the Seahawks. So that's why I'm taking the Super Bowl 49 rematch as my pick for Super Bowl 60. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like on the video if you have not yet. And as well, subscribe to the Zucc TV channel too. And also, make sure to ring that bell to be notified of when I post next, because I will be doing a Super Bowl preview leading up to the big game in February. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys all then. Peace.